So question number 7 wants you to describe the route of blood flow through the heart. So we'll start over here at this structure called the vena cava. The vena cava, you actually have the superior vena cava and the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava that come from the head and arms at the top and then kind of the lower body. This is all bad blood, not bad, but deoxygenated blood coming in. So deoxygenated blood comes in. It's not actually blue. It's darker, but it's not blue. The deoxygenated blood flows into the right atrium. Now it's in the heart. Once it's in the right atrium, it's kind of held there until the right ventricle is ready for it. When the right ventricle opens, that deoxygenated blood comes into here. It comes in through a valve. Now the valves keep the blood flowing one direction in the heart. They shut and they only let the blood go one way, kind of like a gate at a parking facility or something. They only let the traffic flow one direction through. So this valve right here has 3 flaps, and therefore it's called the tricuspid valve, or TCV. Once that bad blood, or that deoxygenated blood, fills the right ventricle, the ventricles are the ones that really pump hard. The atria don't do much. Then that gets shot out to the lungs. Now that deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs. In the lungs it picks up oxygen. So then we have nice, bright, red, pinkish looking blood that's full of oxygen. The hemoglobin on the red blood cells is all charged up with oxygen. And so the blood that comes back from the lungs then, and this is not drawn, like this is not actually here. I'm just drawing it here for explanation purposes. It actually kind of goes out the top of the heart, and it's really tough to keep track of. But that blood flows back into the left atrium through this valve right here, which is the bicuspid valve. So our really good blood that just came in comes into the left ventricle. Now the left ventricle is the one that really pumps it hard. The left ventricle is going to send that blood all the way out to the entire body. The right ventricle just sends it to the lungs. It doesn't have to squeeze as hard. It doesn't have to pump as hard to generate as much pressure. It's not pushing the blood as far. The left ventricle is pumping that blood all over the body. It's generating all your blood pressure. So the blood leaves through the aortic semilunar valve, which keeps the blood from flowing back into the heart. It's also called the mitral valve, M-I-T-R-A-L. So this blood takes off out through the aorta to the body. And then, of course, once it's used up by the body, it's going to come back in through one of these 2 vena cava, back to the right atrium, right ventricle, out to the lungs, back in the left atrium to the left ventricle, out to the body. That's the basic circulation of the blood through the heart.